here again for another day in Bronie's world, and it's Super Saturday here in my part of the world, and I have this absolutely glorious young lady who has inspired me to do a bit of research, and she's written some books. She's very young. I'm going to ask her age in a minute, but I found out today that she's actually been writing for many years, for quite a few years. So I wanted to hear her story because I thought it would encourage all of you out there who have always wanted to write or felt like you were good enough, or you've had teachers or other people say to you, you amount to nothing, you are not good enough. And you maybe think, you know what, I can do that, because you can. And any superhero knows that you can. So without any further ado, I'm going to hand it over to my gorgeous guest, and we will call her Lia because her pen name is, oh, is it Leah or Leah? Lee or Leah?
Lia.
Leah, because I call her Leah, but anyway. So I'm going to hand it over to Leah, and she's going to share you a little of her journey, where she's come from and what brought her to the point that she's today, because she just has published her second book on Amazon, just launched on the 13th, I believe, of February. So 2024, in case you're watching this 10 years down the track. All right, so Leah, first of all, please let everyone know, because I know you're young, but how old are you actually?
I'm currently 17.
There you go, because I know you not long had a birthday. Oh, because I remember wishing you happy birthday. But you may be 17 now, but you've been writing for a little while. So in your journey, just tell us roughly what age you were when you started and what inspired you to take this journey.
I was roughly 12 or 13 when I first started writing, and I was uploading books online. And I got a lot of positive feedback off of the books online. And I thought, why not give it a try publishing in the real world? Because previously, when I was much younger than that, when I was 11, I had a lot of different teachers tell me I'd never be good at anything. I'd never publish a book. I'd never amount to anything. I just wasn't good enough. And I decided that I wanted to prove them wrong, that I am good enough and I can do it. So I decided to actually publish the book for the world to read.
And let the world be the judge. And they're clearly liking your writing.
Well, you're going to get positive and negative feedback, but all feedback will help at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
I'm very proud of how far it's come. And in all honesty, I have specific people to thank for it, including one teacher that did believe in me. And because of them, I was able to learn how to do it. I was able to believe in myself just enough to push me over that little edge and get it out there.
So what sort of stories do you like to write? And, not just, well, what did you start off with? What did you start off writing, and why did you start off writing that particular way?
I started with fantasy and it's followed all the way through. I started writing it as a little escape from the real world, because when I was younger, everything with COVID started and the world was a pretty bad place at that point. So it was nice to have a little fantastical escape away from the real world where anything I imagined would be real. And the stories I would write back then would be about magic kingdoms fighting, or I did write a few about dragons and the way people could work with them. And I believe I did write one about someone regaining their spark in themselves after losing a lost loved one. And that's continued on all the way to the series I'm currently writing, which is another fantasy that delves into some deeper themes as well.
So what then? You've got 2 books that you've got out on Amazon, I believe.
Yeah.
I want a hard copy, not I'm one of these people who like the hard copy.
Me too.
Because when I read a book, I like to escape into the book, not be sitting in front of a computer or on my phone, because that's damaging to the eyes as well. Anyway, too much of that. So I believe the first one of this last series is called The Devil's Fall. So what is that a little bit about? Don't give too much away, because it's for just enough away so that people will go out and buy it.
The Devil's Fall is about the world after a war between angels and devils. And it focuses on one girl in specific. She's a devil descendant. And her world was perfect. She wasn't highborn or lowborn in society. She was content with her life. And then a disaster happened at their annual ceremony, and her whole life changed and shattered. And all these horrid truths started to seep through the cracks that she'd built in this perfect fantasy world.
Sounds a bit like the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Because think about it. Up until about 4 years ago, the world, people thought they were in a perfect world, that things were wonderful.
Yeah.
And then things just fell apart in a real hurry.
Yeah.
Although, like your character, it actually, she was hiding from, or was hidden from, the truth, and the truth started coming out. That's what it sounds like. This is the impression I'm getting.
Yep. You're spot on. The truth was intentionally hidden from not just her, but everyone in her country. So her entire world has been sheltered on this specific truth that everyone is told the same thing, and that everyone believes it because there's never been any room for doubt. But then this specific disaster that happened started a domino effect, and she has been discovering so much, and she goes through so much, but she still stays strong, and
That's
she's
cool.
surrounded by friends who support her.
You know what? That sounds like you.
Yeah, I have to admit, one of the characters in the book is based off my best friend.
Okay. There you go. Because often we do, don't we, think that. And I believe now your grandmother is a really good friend of mine, and I love her to death. And she writes such inspiring things about you on her Facebook page. And I was having a chat with her today, and she was saying that you got a message, I'm not sure if it was an email or a call or quite how it was, but from Amazon, because you are now a publisher, you've published 2 books with them, they're bringing it out in print form as well.
Yes.
Have I got that right?
Yeah, over the next few weeks, because I am now what's called an established author on Amazon, over the next few weeks, the 2 books that I have currently up will finally be available for everyone in print form.
Oh,
Because the book I've currently got here was one of a limited edition print run that ran. That only went to a few family members. But the next few weeks it's going to be a paperback, and the whole world can buy a hard copy.
Oh, that'll be awesome. So where will they be able to buy them?
On Amazon. It doesn't matter which Amazon site you're on, whether it's .com.au, it's available on all of them.
Oh, well, we'll have to look out for that.
Yeah.
That's cool. And so, because you're now an established author of 2, your second book, for those who are interested in seeing it and reading it, it's called The Devil's pieces. Am
Yeah.
I correct? So tell us a little bit about that one, because the first one's very intriguing.
The Devil's Pieces continues on approximately 7 months after the incidents in the first book. And my main character, she gets faced with a big trauma of her past that she's only just starting to unveil and learn about. And because she just wants to help everyone. She is kind and funny, and she wants to be there for her friends. So she admittedly does quite a few silly things in order to help them and make them happy. But she then has to face the serious situation of dealing with the trauma from her past and finding a very important key figure for the story.
Wow. We will leave that part there, because if you give any more away, people won't read it. And that's we want them to read it. So now, despite all this, or during all this, just before Christmas last year, you were struck down with and quite suddenly, no warning, with an illness that I had never heard of before, that left you unable to walk. Now, Lia, you can expand on that or not, but you know what I saw in you? I saw a girl determined to not let that stop her from achieving her dreams. You just went ahead and you said, well, look, legs, just because you're not working doesn't mean the rest of me isn't. But there was more than that. It wasn't just your legs. It's just your legs right now. But it was more at the time. I believe you couldn't even talk for a while. So what inspired you to just keep going? Because most would have just given up and said, oh, I'm not going to do anything, and just leave it and lose the opportunity to continue.
When I had my incident, which was a massive seizure, and at the first few days I couldn't move anything. Pretty much here, from my eyebrows up, I could move, and from here down, I couldn't. Over the next few days, I kept working on getting my limbs to move. And then I think it was about day 4 that I could move my arms. And my first instinct was, well, thank goodness I can keep writing. Can't stop me.
Oh, that's awesome. Anyway, continue. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was
It's
so
okay.
excited. I prayed for you so hard, and I'm still praying for you, by the way.
I was laying down and I looked to my mum and I'm like, I can still write. You need to bring my laptop in now. So she's brought my laptop in and I've opened it up and I made her drag in all of my references. So my notebooks, any pictures I printed out, I made her bring it all into the hospital. And I sat there and I went through what I was writing. And I saw a reason to keep going, because I can either let something like this get me down and stop me, or I can keep pushing forward and working hard on something that I love. And not only does it keep me occupied, but it's something that can help me get better, because I'm not wallowing in a self-sadness. I'm there being I'm there. I'm doing what I love and I'm not being stopped.
And that's exactly. And it's the best thing you can do for your mindset. I mean, gosh, most people that would have thrown completely into depression. And
It's pretty hard, but at the end of the day, it sounds really weird, but my characters keep me sane.
oh, that doesn't sound weird to me.
My characters and their journey, they're very important to me. So I want to be able to tell their story. And if something like this stopping me, it's not just me. when it comes to writing, especially for me, it feels like the characters I write are real to me.
Yeah.
I'm telling their story. I'm helping them work through their problems. And by helping them, I'm helping myself at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, look, I know you have to go shortly, but that is really awesome. And that's what I wanted the readers out there to see, that it doesn't matter what you're faced with, what adversities are going on around you, you know, doing something like this, like what Lia's done, has kept her sane. It has kept her going. And, it doesn't matter whether you're writing or what it is you're doing in life. Things are sent to try us sometimes, I think. Blocks can come up all the time, but it's how you cope and how you get through that is amazing. And I absolutely admire what you're doing. And I can't wait to read these books. I will admit, like I said, I'm not an advocate for reading online. I like the hard copies. I've been dying and waiting for a hard copy. So when they're available, you must let me know so I can purchase them. So if you are looking to purchase Lia's books, and I encourage all to do that, and encourage Lia to continue on this path, because it's amazing. Her pen name is Lia Flanagan. So look for her on Amazon. I think that's how you find you. I don't know, but if there's a link, I'll get you to send it to me and I can put it underneath in the comments part, or you can pop it under the comments when this goes up. That'd be really awesome.
You can find me on Amazon, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
And how do we find you on those? Are you up as Lia Flanagan, or?
I'm always up there as Lia Flanagan.
Very good. So we will look for you. But anyway, all right, guys. Well, we will leave it there because I know Lia's got to go out, so I don't want to hold her up too long. So as I ask you all nicely here in Bronie's World to stay safe, stay informed, be empowered, but do not live in fear, my friends. And when you're like Lia and you don't let adversity overwhelm you, but you use it actually as a way to push yourself forward, then you too will be powerful, beautiful, brilliant, and most definitely very brave. God bless you all. Catch you again tomorrow here in Bronie's World. And thank you, my dear friend, for coming and being my guest today for Super Saturday.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. You're a great superhero in my books. All right. Thank you very much.